Nowadays, there are some mods you can use that make life way easier, but sometimes doing things manually is a safer option if you don't want to risk possibly getting a virus. Welcome! Today I will be teaching you about the fill command. With filling in areas in Minecraft, there are 2 rules you need to understand, and I will be teaching you them today. Let's get on to it. Number 1. Minecraft is a 3D game. Therefore, everything has a length, a width, and a depth in the dimensions. Your coordinates resemble this, your coordinates being X, Y, and Z. They obviously change depending on the direction you look in. You are going to learn about 2D and 3D fill. Rule number 2. A player is 2 blocks tall. This is quite significant when you're using the fill command because fill will not fill the block you are standing on. Instead, it will fill from the lower block of your player, or simpler, the player's legs. Now that you know that, let's move on to the filling. With 2D fill, you're looking to build a wall. It should look like a rectangle. First up, I'm taking my coordinates. Then, I'm going to start moving along how many blocks I want to fill. It seems like I'm moving along 7 blocks. Get the chat and commands up and you can use your /fill command. I'm going to use these lovely little squiggly dashes because they are in the place of your coordinates that you're standing in currently, and they're very helpful because you don't need to remember as many numbers. Now I'm just going to start putting in the coordinates I just wrote down from a second ago, and then I'm also going to put down my block. This is crucial because if you don't put down a block, an error will pop up, and the amount of times I've done this is simply humiliating. So please do remember to put your block in as well. So as you can see, I have filled it and it immediately pushed me out of the way. This is because my player's legs were in the way of the fill command, which was obviously rule number 2. Let's add some height to this wall. So again, I take my coordinates because without them, you can't do anything. So here I am, probably write down your coordinates on a piece of paper because that's really useful because then you can simply just take them away because that's actually quite a lot of numbers to remember. So then I'm going to move across like I did, I'm moving across 7 blocks. For some reason I chose the number 7, don't question me. Then I'm going to add my height, so I'm going up 4 blocks. But I will not go up 5 because I want to have 5 blocks as my height. But remember, rule number 2, the player's legs are part of the fill command. So therefore I'll just leave it there. Hopefully when I use /fill, which I'm doing now, I'll take my coordinates I am on now. Then I'll use my early coordinates that I took down earlier. Remember the block, I'm using allow, and it's instantly pushed me off and now I have 40 blocks filled. How do I add depth to my wall, you may ask? So now I'm going to move on to 3D fill. So with 3D fill, you want to do the same thing, however this time you're actually going to take diagonal coordinates. So you're not going to take the height. Instead, you're going to go up the height, forget about it, and take the coordinate at the very end. So you're kind of forming, it's like a rectangle in 2D paint. If you draw it from one side, you go down, you get a line, and if you draw it out, you get a rectangle. It's just how it works, believe me. I'm going to take my coordinates again. I've gone up 1 block to show that this is the block that will be filled. I'm going across, I went across, 7. I destroyed that block for no reason. Then I decided that I was going to go up some blocks. So again, I'm going to go up some blocks. Nice. Now I'm going to add that depth feature. So just did the 2D wall, now we're going to add a 3D cube. So I'm going along a couple of blocks. Pull up the chat and commands, /fill. I'm going to take my dashes that are very helpful. And then I'm also going to add in my other coordinates that I just took at the very start. I always started on the same block just to make it easier for myself. Remember the block. Whoops, spelling mistake. And it has filled 320 blocks. Cool, right? So now you know how to do that. It's quite simple, really, isn't it? This is how you can fill in large spaces without actually having to build it all. What? You made a mistake? How do you undo it? Well, whilst I haven't figured that one out yet, there will also be a video coming out on how to get rid of areas, large and small, so stay tuned. Actually, that video should pop up now. Well, it might. Yeah, right there. See? You can click on it. If you've gotten this far, liked or subbed, I'd really appreciate it. It does take time to make these videos, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.